Growing beetroot in garden pots is incredibly rewarding, but in a tropical climate with distinct heavy monsoons and intense summers, your biggest challenge is in space, its temperature and thinning. Beetroots naturally prefer cooler weather, 15 to 25 degrees centigrade, to develop nice plump roots. Avoid planting during the peak heat of summer or the middle of heavy monsoon season. The best time to sow seeds in a tropical climate is right as the heavy rains taper off and the weather slightly cools, typically from late September through January. Planting during the monsoon risks waterlogging and root rot, while peak summer heat will cause the plants to focus entirely on growing leaves rather than the root. Because you are growing a root vegetable, the soil texture is everything. If the soil is hard or rocky, the roots will fork or stay small. Choose wide pots, rectangular planters, or grow bags that are at least 8 to 10 inches deep. Width matters more than depth once you hit the 10-inch mark. You need a loose, well-draining mix that won't compact under heavy watering. Use a blend of 40% normal garden soil, 30% compost or vermicompost, and 30% coco peat. The coco peat is vital in tropical heat because it retains moisture without making the soil soggy. Add a handful of neem cake powder to keep soil-borne pests away. Here is a quirk about beetroot. What looks like a single seed is actually a small dried fruit, a glomerule, containing 2 to 4 tiny seeds. Sow the seed clusters directly into pots about ½ inch deep and 4 inches apart. After they sprout about 7 to 14 days, you will see multiple seedlings popping up from the same spot. You must snip off the weaker ones, leaving only the strongest single seedling per spot. If you skip this, they will compete for space and you will end up with lots of leaves but no actual beetroot. They need full sun 6 to 8 hours a day for good root development. However, if you experience a particularly scorching tropical afternoon, shifting the pots to partial shade during the hottest hours can prevent the plants from wilting. Consistent moisture is critical. In hot weather, soil in pots dries out fast. Keep the soil evenly moist but never muddy. If you let the soil dry out completely and then flood it with water, the sudden uptake of water will cause the beetroots to split open. Your beetroots should be ready to harvest in about 60 to 80 days depending on the variety. You will know they are ready when you see the shoulders of the beetroot poking out above the soil line.